So what you're looking at here is a simplified user interface and experience that covers accessibility and disability challenges. Individuals that have accessibility challenges have visual, motor skills, neurological challenges. So what we've done here, you'll see high hit targets. You'll be interested to see the massive contrast here that allows you to see the difference between the landmass and the oceans. We've reduced the number of place names, so it's a less busy and complex environment, simplified the menu system, and then the high contrast is easy for them to navigate around the map. This is a New York to Los Angeles flight, slightly larger text to be WCAG 2.1 compliant.
Yes.
And this is what we've launched on Delta.
Fantastic, and that's such a huge deal. Delta's going fleet-wide, correct?
Delta's going fleet-wide. They're on 171 aircraft today. We
Wow.
started last week, and the plan is to be fleet-wide by the end of the year.
They are a very passionate airline when it comes to accessibility, real standard bearer really in the industry. Are you anticipating after this big announcement that you guys are going to be rather busy?
I think that it's not only a sort of legal imperative with the American Disability Act and the European Accessibility Act, but also a moral imperative.
Yes.
Imperative for people. An inclusive journey, and the journey information is so vital for all passengers. And the conversations we've had with some of the world's leading airlines are all very much leaning into rolling out a product like this, and the excitement and buzz is pretty compelling from a sort of moral standpoint as well as a sort of legal standpoint.
Okay. Obviously, Delta is a seatback IFE standard bearer as well.
Yes.
But this translates to wireless, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
There's a mobile framework for the same experience. We believe in providing a map for all travelers regardless of age, ability, or device. So we want to be providing this on both mobile and seatback, and we also want to be doing maps for the youth and maps for everybody.
Okay. What's the next step then for this map? I know you have kind of an evolution planned.
So today it's to meet the standards of both the WCAG, which is the Web Content Accessibility Group standards, which we've met and achieved.
Yep.
It's also working with individual airlines so that you can actually get the touch points of real users and their feedback. So we built a qualified product that met against these guidelines and standards, but then it kind of paled in significance of getting in front of Delta's accessibility board and being in front of users in the labs and going through it, where we did iterations and we changed the color here of the landmass, which was a little bit too bright and the glare was too much for some of the users. So we had to switch around some of the configurations to meet their needs, even spacing the buttons so that they could be an easier hit target for those with not only visual cues but also motor skills as well. So what's next is making sure we keep to iterate with actual users to make sure that the product is being perfected. We think that artificial intelligence with our flight companion that narrates the journey is going to be a part of the next step.
Okay.
So you can see over here that we have our flight companion on the mobile experience.
Yep.
It's telling us that this is a flight to JFK, but it's telling you that Armstrong airspace is 481 kilometers west of the aircraft. It's telling you about some family-friendly things to do in the destination. Time at destination is 12:37. We want to feed that into the audio so that somebody that was in an ability that maybe they're fully blind can just literally sit back and know you're flying at 37,000 feet. We land in 2 hours, 27 minutes. We're just passing this sports stadium. And so it narrates the journey for them.
Oh, how wonderful.
And paints that picture, which, having talked to a bunch of airlines here, they're like, well, hey, I'd use that anyway.
Absolutely,
So,
for sure. So
that's a 2025 part of the roadmap to get that kind of intelligence brought to the audio cues as well as part of the journey to narrate that experience.
How fantastic. And AI, you say, is playing a role then in all of this?
It is.
And you guys got into that kind of early. You were kind of ahead of the curve, if memory serves, a few years ago.
We were working on it many years ago,
Yes.
and with the OpenAI framework, it enabled to accelerate what we were doing. A bunch of people are talking about AI. We're doing it, not talking it. So we have AI flying with this flight companion on 1,000 aircraft right now. I think it will be on probably half our fleet, which is about 5,000 aircraft by the end of next year. So it's been really aggressively rolled out. Last month alone, we delivered 20 million recommendations and messages just on the aircraft that are flying right now, which is tips to say, hey, check out this when you land. Is there an Uber available at this destination? What are the family-friendly events? So we're measuring the messages that we're delivering with the ability to also integrate in their storytelling for the airline of loyalty messages.
Wow.
So yeah, we're very excited.
Congratulations.